And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Once again, thank you to the wonderful and
ever so lovely Miss Button
for introducing our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices, where we ask you the question, you give us the answer, and we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for this week?
On tap, well, we were asking last week, we were talking about collapses, like team collapses, as far as blowing leads or being out in front of standings and blowing it. This week, we're talking more about like individual behavioral meltdowns, guys who just lost it on the field or in the interview room or on the sidelines. And we had a couple good, interesting ones here, Eddie Cool. What did the people say?
I got you. Real quick to our listeners and viewers, if you post something on our Choice of the Voices that's just a picture, make sure you add a caption, please, so that way it'll make it easier for me to understand when I read your question. With that being said, Abram King, he says, the malice in the palace. That was a total team meltdown on both teams.
Yeah, Pacers and Pistons. That was craziness. Very Artest laying on the table up in the stands.
Yeah, next thing you know, he was on the table and in the stands, and jerseys getting torn, and people getting body slammed, clothesline, and suplexes. Yeah, it was be live. You remember that was the same weekend of the Clemson and South Carolina fight?
Oh yeah,
same weekend.
Yeah. And we got banned from postseason play and that was a self-imposed ban. But man,
yeah, us too. we were both bad. We were both like what 6-5. Both teams were 6-5. Just like
Yeah, it was. We needed to sit one out on that one, but you know,
you don't deserve to go no bowl game. All right, TB Tony Bogan, what's up, man? He says Kurt Busch's radio during the 2012 Southern 500 at Darlington. Was he saying some things he wasn't supposed to say?
Yeah, we're talking about sports.
Here you go.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, so Kurt Busch's radio. I'm not too clear on what happened about that. I don't know if it was.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
man. He gave us a link, and none of us didn't. First of all, I apologize ahead of time because we have a DEI person on the Sports Focus podcast, that he would be our NASCAR representative, and everything.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He not with it.
No. No.
Oh man, you guys.
You're a golf guy. Like you're supposed to. Like I figure that's supposed to go hand in hand. Allow me to handle soccer. That's me. But that
I watch basketball with you guys. I'm not watching. I'm not watching that redneck sport.
Oh God! Here we go.
I love it. And we just for the record, we're not necessarily reaching out to NASCAR fans. That's not I don't think that's really ever been our
demographic.
Nah. Yeah, that ain't it. It ain't gonna be that.
Bush Light and tank tops and sunburns.
Oh boy! All right, Tony Bogan said former Tennessee Titan Albert Haynesworth stomping on a player. He stomped on a Cowboy.
Yeah, Andre Gerard, I think it's who it was.
Yep, Andre Gerard. Yep. And then throwing a tantrum after getting rightfully ejected. And former Cleveland Indian Trevor Bauer tossing the ball over the center field wall after getting pulled from the start. Oh yeah, he was hot as fish grease on that. I remember that like yesterday. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. All right. Tom Winner Chicken Dinner. He says Woody Hayes gets the nod as nut job as well as nut job Jimmy Pearsall.
You know anything about this one, Be Live?
Yes, I
what happened?
do. Ohio State, Ohio State versus Clemson. I believe this was the 1978 Fiesta Bowl.
77, 78. Was it Fiesta? Was it Fiesta?
It was whatever it was. It was Ohio State versus Clemson.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was Orange Bowl, but I might be wrong.
Okay, yeah. Either way, it was before I was born, but I saw enough highlights.
Yeah, okay.
It was before I was born, but I've seen the highlights for me to dislike Woody Hayes and the fact that it was Clemson beating Ohio State that got Woody Hayes fired, because during that game, he was upset with Clemson celebrating after they put foot to ass and beat Ohio State I think it was 17-15, and Woody Hayes decided he wanted to throw a punch at one of the Clemson players in the last 2 minutes.
He had the nerve to intercept the pass.
Right. He was just
and then run towards their sideline.
And Woody Hayes threw a punch at a
him in the
player
chin.
and was subsequently fired after the game. Good riddance to you, Woody Hayes. And Ohio State University and their 1-4 record against my Clemson Tigers. Thank you, Scotty D, for that segue. I greatly appreciate it, because you know I was sitting on it.
I thought you might want to talk about that one. I thought that might have even been on your list.
Well, it was not. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm pulling up something real quick because I was putting together graphics and everything like that. Because on my side, I'm over here like I even got the graphic hiding my face, but here's my face, ladies and gentlemen. But we got graphics going along with the choice of the voices. And for those that are featured with the choice of the voices, I took your Facebook picture. It's sort of like a public domain. So my bad. If you want to reach out to us via email, like, hey, you don't have the right to do so because I'm ugly.
We'll take it down.
But no, we want to feature feature the voices. We are by the fan, for the fan. So I want to go over the top with it.
That means you had a picture of Tom Wynne on the screen?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
You want me to bring it back up?
No.
There it is.
Tom Wynne.
There it is. Tom, winner, chicken dinner. All right,
winner, chicken dinner. So, hey.
Yep. Moving right along, we got Clay. Here come the Huffstetler. Word up. All right. He has a picture of the great Pete Weber winning the 2012 PBA US Open. Quote, "Who do you think you are? I am."
I am.
Yeah. What? The greatest amalgamation of words in the history of words.
He was going to say something else, I think. Right? Didn't he say he was going to say something else, but that's what came out, and then it just kind of...
yeah. He was in a whirl of emotions. That was the 5th time him winning the U.S. Open. He's already known as like the bad boy of bowling and stuff like that. And so for him to basically beat all, it wasn't really beating all odds because he's that good of a bowler. But for him to finish the way he did, to win by 1 pin, and it was just a bowl. Like,
but you know why he yelled that though? I think it was a 12-year-old kid was heckling him. He was yelling that at the kid.
He got mad at a 12-year-old.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw an interview with him where he said that he was like yelling, like some kid was giving him hell during that match.
And he said, "Who do you think you are? I am."
And the kid was like, there was always a line right before that, and he threw a little expletives out there. I did it. I told you I'd do it. Who do you think you are? I am. Well, wait a minute. Did that what? Say like I feel like whether I was somewhere like, because I watch professional bowling from time to time, and I feel like I could have like watched it either live or like the day after, and I don't shut up. I ain't got time for this. But it was just one of those things where, like, it was a quick highlight right after the fact and everything like that. But I was like, "Who do you think you are? I am." That don't.
And that guy was a clown, and so are you for watching him. Next.
Oh no!
Wow,
Scotty, what was the barber say?
Next,
I will have that argument with anybody. That Pete Weber, like, that iconic line spread the sport of bowling in an infinite manner. Like, that was, thank you, Pete Weber, for being as animated as you are. Who do you think you are? I am. Next.
We got to find that picture of B-Live going. That bowling ball. He was doing his best Jordan impersonation. Like this. All right. All right, Marcus Wayne James, co-host of the Connoisseurs of Pro Wrestling podcast, along with myself and Brad B3. All right, he says the minor league baseball manager Phil Wellman goes nuts. The icing in the cake is that "Let's Stay Together" by Al Green was playing through the whole tirade. I had no idea the song was playing.
I remember watching this on. This was like a favorite of ESPN a few years back.
Yep.
I think was this the one where he was bear crawling and threw the
Army
grenade?
crawling. Yes,
Yeah.
he was. Yeah.
Oh man, that was wonderful. Picked up the bases and stealing the base. Oh my God, it was. I think it was a Mississippi team that we. I think it was
the Mississippi Mud Hens. That's that name.
Yeah, I think that could have been it.
Mm.
But dude, epic. Absolutely.
Yeah, see, I thought it was a little too calculated. I thought, once he made his point, he covered up the plate and threw a base. When he started doing the crawl thing, at that point, I'm like, okay, this is more for show than it ain't. He had already been tossed. And then he got to the outfield wall and like waved everybody about, like took a curtain call as he.
Didn't he take his shirt off and swing it around his head like a helicopter?
I don't know if he did that or
he turned his hat backwards and did a grenade. He was all it was.
He was doing the most. And it was just the name of the team is just the Mississippi Braves.
Okay, Mississippi Braves. Okay, Braves affiliate heard.
Yeah. But I think they were did I just see Double A. They're Double A.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that just as much as yes, some of it could have been calculated. But that's what minor league baseball is. It is.
I guess.
It is for the people, the crowd, and everything. Yes, some of it is professional baseball, but some of the antics. And he was like, you know what? This is the time, and and I'm here for it. Yeah.
Yep. Minor league baseball is great. We gotta go see the Savannah Bananas, man. That's a whole show and a half. That's wildly entertaining. All right, and shout out to everybody for their participation in this week's Choices of the Voices. With that being said, I'll go first. Fellas, I don't know if you remember, way back in 2001, there was a Sunday night football game involving the New Orleans Saints and the New York Jets. Ask me what the most notable moment of that game was, fellas.
What was the most notable moment? I'm trying to think. Was this
Kyle
Turley?
Susie Coleman?
No, Scotty D, you got it right. Kyle Turley. All right. So as I'm reading here, yep. His career is best remembered by many for a 2001 incident which he ripped off an opposing player's helmet and tossed it downfield. Played a key factor in his team losing the game, but also earning the respect of many Saints fans in defense for protecting his quarterback. All right. So Kyle Turley says, you know what? You can try to hit my quarterback all you want to. I'm going to take this helmet without your head in it and throw it down the field, and then I want you to do something. So,
yeah,
Kyle Turley said, enough is enough, and it's time for a change, and a helmet went flying. So, is it a meltdown, self-defense? I don't know, but it's a great moment in sports.
Yeah. That perfectly fits into what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Yep, Scotty D, what say you?
Let me hear a B-Lab guy, because I have a couple written down. I don't want to steal any if he has anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine's pretty simple because there's a lot of meltdowns and everything like that, but one really just stuck out to me. Odell Beckham Jr. getting in a fight with the kicking.
Oh, on the airplane. The airplane, is that what it was?
No, when he got in a fight with a kicking net on the sideline.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And he lost to the kicking net. He lost the fight to the kicking in a full-on tirade. And the fact that later on when he celebrated a touchdown, he went up like, this is another game, whatever. He went over and kissed the kicking net. So it was like a love-hate relationship and everything like that.
And proposed to it.
It was such an epic meltdown when, like, God, when you just think about volatility in that locker room and how things went quickly south between Eli Manning and OBJ. What could have been, but that will always sit in my mind as just an epic meltdown of epic proportions.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that. That's a good one. I had not even thought of that.
So there you go, Scott. Hopefully I didn't step on any toes.
No, actually, there's a lot of these different ones. I thought I was going to write down like two. Then I kept thinking. I thought of John Chaney going after John Calipari at the press conference.
That's funny.
Wanted to fight him. Speaking of golf, Phil Mickelson at the U.S. Open getting upset about the pin placement and hitting the ball while it was still moving back in 2018. He putted one and he just ran down past the hole and smacked it back. I did have Woody Hayes written down against Clemson. Eddie, I thought you might come up with Myles Garrett hitting Mason Rudolph with the helmet.
Clubbing him in the head.
But two of the ones that I came up with that were bigger. One, both are from boxing. One was Tyson biting Holyfield's ear. He was losing that fight. He was mad at Holyfield. He said it was headbutting him, so he chomped his ear off. Mm-hmm. And then there was another one. I actually watched this one live when it happened, but in 1994, Lennox Lewis got knocked out in the second round by Oliver McCall, which was a surprise. 3 years later, they had a rematch, and halfway through the fight, McCall stopped fighting, just dropped his arms, and started crying in the ring. Just fight was over. They had to end the fight because he just wasn't defending himself anymore. He had like a mental breakdown right there in the middle of the ring, and that was pretty much the end of Oliver McCall's career. I never really saw or heard anything from him again, but it was very strange. He was getting frustrated and just stopped defending himself, and the referee stepped in because he just started crying, and that was the end of the fight. So that was a crazy one. When we were talking about the minor league manager picking up the base, that reminded me of Lou Piniella of Meltdown and throwing first base into the outfield.
Yeah. Sweet Lou. Yep.
Yeah, he had several meltdowns through the years, and
Be Live, our boy Bobby Cox had a few of them too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he had the most ejections in MLB history. Oh yeah. But yeah, we didn't opine a little bit more on Tom Wynne when he mentioned Jimmy Pearsall. Because people probably don't know, this was back in the 1950s. It was like during his rookie year, but he dealt with bipolar disorder, and it was actually like I saw a clip of a movie where it was portraying that that moment, but essentially like he just completely lost his mind, like saying it's just not enough. And he like hit a inside the park home run or something like that and ran, and is this not enough? Is this not enough? Is this not enough? Is this not enough? And like literally just completely lost it after like scoring a run, and they had to like escort, like they had to forcefully restrain him and take him off the field. This was this was a movie parody, so I'm not necessarily know how accurate it is, but he ended up being elected to the Boston Hall of Fame, so he must have got it together. But yeah, this Tom Wynne, isn't he New England?
He likes Boston sports.
Oh, okay, so
he likes the Yankees too somehow, but he does like Boston, and he likes the Browns.
And the Browns. Yeah, he likes the Browns.
He's all over the place.
I got you, but yeah, I just wanted to opine on that because I was looking that up just to see what exactly he was talking about. But yeah, it was. Yeah,
well, good call on that one.
Yeah, so we wanted to opine on that. Give the voices their time and everything. But yeah, who do you think you are?
Interesting meltdown. Interesting topic. That's a fun topic. We could probably sit here all day and come up with other ones. But
oh yeah, Scotty D, what's on tap for next week?
Next week, we're going to ask you to tell us about what your opinion is on the most exciting, or we could even say interesting, NBA Finals that you've ever watched.
And it's going to be a good one.
NBA Finals. What is your most interesting or favorite or most exciting, however you want to say it, but your most exciting NBA Finals? That'll give us something to talk about next week, Eddie. Cool.